Now that we've worked on our 9-card story, we can continue in the process of powerful storytelling. If you remember, there's 4 steps to telling a great story, and we covered the first 2 in the previous video. The first step is to capture all the things you might use in your story. Secondly, you shape those pieces into a 9-card format, into a story that has a beginning, middle, and end. So now that we've captured it and we've shaped it, the next thing we're going to do is actually make it. We're going to make that story into a story, not just a series of facts. I did this, and then I did this, and then I did that. We're going to make it into something memorable and powerful. And then finally, we're going to share that. So to make a story, we can use an added element called the magical story triangle. So the magical story triangle is essentially 3 things that you can do to make your stories more memorable and more powerful. So the first one that you can do is you can add details. So we can add things like how something felt or tasted, numbers, something that'll make it memorable. Now the second thing we can do to make our story more powerful is to add drama or suspense. So instead of telling us, I put the cake in the oven and then I took it out and it was burned, you might say something like, I put the cake in the oven and I waited and I opened up the door and I couldn't believe my eyes. Right? You say something that leaves us hanging, that makes us want to lean forward. I tried to record my first audio interview with my mentor. I turned on the button and then something crazy happened. Well, what was it, right? Like we want to get that resolved. So you want to create dramatic tension. You want to lead us into where you're going, but don't just say where it is. Instead, make us wait for it. Add a little suspense, a little mystery to your story, and that'll help us remember the story. Now, the third and final thing you want to add is meaning and reflection. So as you finish your story, you talk about your leap. What does that mean to you as a person? How are you different because of that? Or how has your understanding changed? So it's not just I tried to bake a cake, I learned how to do it, and now I'm going to be a baker. It might be, I pulled open the oven, I took out the cake, and it was burned. And I had this realization, I was not meant to be a baker, right? I'm going to spend my time doing something else. Or I tried to record this podcast, I put on my headphones, I listened to it, and I realized I love the sound of my voice, and I want to be a voice actor, and this is my future career, right? So we want to resolve the story, just like you do with a fairy tale, and tell the moral, right? Share the reflection on what that meant to you as a person. Because everything you go through has some kind of special meaning for you. And for us to care about it, you need to let us in on what that is. So what I want you to do next is watch this short video that I think captures the magical story triangle. It's a great story about identity, about growing up, and listen for the elements that she uses in terms of details, voices, the drama, you don't know what's going to happen, and then the reflection. And then we're going to take those elements and try to attach it to your 9-card story to make your story more powerful.